I forgot.
This guy has been chasing me all week.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I forgot.
I forgot. And here's how bad I forgot. I'm in my pajamas.
Like, ready to go Betty Bye.
Yeah. I was all ready to go downstairs. I was like, watch a movie or watch a show or something. And you're messaging me, and I look at it, and I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah.
All right, everyone in the chat, let Rob have it for forgot.
So here's the thing. Actually, so I can't see the chat because we usually log in with we share a username and password, but I guess they did an update, or it's been so long that I actually couldn't log in, so I had to use the guest one. So I don't know what the chat's saying because
I think you should still be able to
Oh,
see
there,
the
I
chat.
can see it now. I went to comments. All right, whatever.
Dumb.
I'm an idiot. Look at that.
Shout outs to everybody in their PJs. Thank you for joining us on Sunday night, our new time slot until Rob forgets.
Yeah, I won't forget
for now. So if it works for you guys, awesome. If it doesn't work for you guys,
too bad.
I'm sorry right now. It's already barely working for us apparently. So welcome. If you guys haven't been here in a while, this is Sidekick Show. I am John. This is my very handsome, attractive, frosted tipped Rob Gaudette.
No positives. Hey buddy, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm fresh. I'm fresh off the toy show. I was in Mississauga all day.
Oh, you were saying fresh off the toilet.
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
Surprisingly, yeah. Don't drink the water at the hotels. You know the free water they just put out?
Yep.
I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah.
It's got ice in it. It's in these pitchers.
Nope.
I drank it one of the first ones we went to, and I got pretty sick after. I don't know if that's their issue or whatever. But yeah, I've been up since probably 6-7 a.m. Playing with toys. So it's a lot of fun. If you guys haven't come out to one of these toy shows and you want to get some vintage toys and fun stuff, come on out. But Rob, how was your day so far, man?
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about tonight, man.
I think you're gonna have a lot to talk about because I haven't been able to keep up with a lot of stuff. So, and hopefully you guys in the chat can help us out. That's our.
Well, I think we have a lot to talk about what's going to happen with the show going forward, and what our ideas are, and where you can find us. Because I think we might change up a little bit. But let me just say this: is that my day was fine. It was crazy. So, John, the last time we checked in was in like August. It was before the Labor Day weekend, I think, right?
Yeah, we popped back, and we had intentions of skipping 1 week and then coming back for y'all.
And then a month later.
Yeah, 1 month later. So thank you, everybody who was like, yo, what happened?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the last time we were on, I was still in the midst of construction on the main floor of my house. I'm happy to report that tomorrow my front doors and side doors are being replaced, but that will be the end of it. We're actually now living and operating for 1 full week in the kitchen, completely using new appliances and everything else. So I'm very, very happy. So
it's just fancy.
Fancy. Let me tell you what's fancy. Half of my appliances are all connected to the net, and everything. My phone starts going off, telling me my dishwasher cycle's been done. I had there's some important software update on the dishwasher. My fridge door is open. Everything's gone. I'm like, I don't know what the hell. I kind of somewhat miss the simplistic times of being able to plug something in and turning it on. But whatever.
You're going to be hunting at the garage sales later on looking for vintage toasters and
yeah, that's right.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I missed this. And you're going to put a separate room of like old school stuff where remember when microwaves, you just had all the numbers and you just push the time, and now everything's like preset. You're like,
or no, you would turn the dial.
You got dial. Yeah, mine's got like presets. You press like 30 seconds, and then you hit it a couple more times, and it goes increments of 30, or it's a slider. I'm like, what the heck is this? Why can't I just put 3 minutes and then hit start? It's like everything's got to be complicated.
No, it is crazy. So that's what's been new with me. Like that, this summer has been so busy. Let's start with like the fact that we ended off the season. We're gonna call it the season, John. We did like what, 2 full years? We do 2 full years, right? Of the
I feel like it was at least 2 years of straight. We were hitting every day, few days off, maybe.
So maybe
What a
we probably started about this time, October of 2020, I would think, is maybe when we started the Sidekick Show. So we've done 3 years, and we were doing every Monday,
Yeah.
aside from maybe a long weekend or whatever it was, for 3 years. And, obviously the pandemic, kind of started to, whiffed away. Although medical professionals will say, no, not so fast, still here. But things started opening up. And then this past spring got stupid busy because if you guys aren't familiar, John and Andre are obviously the owners of Heroes World. We're located at Warden and Highway 7. And then they moved in like the first or second week of June.
Yeah.
And then that also kind of coincided with like my kids were like so busy with their sports and activities because the older they get, the more later into the evenings they play. And that worked in conjunction with John and Andre getting the store up and running and all the stuff that they've been doing. And if you've been following any of the social media feeds of Heroes World or John and Andre, you'll see how crazy busy they've been. But like, I'm just gonna like kind of fluffy here, buddy. You guys have upped your game as retailers, as you guys are experienced builders. You guys have got workshops going on in the new place. Like you guys are doing and providing so many things. It doesn't happen overnight. You guys were like diligently working hard throughout the course of the summer to build up what you guys have. And I know you've got a lot more coming. So this whole entire summer, we said, you know what? It doesn't make any sense for us to be here and there. And John might not be able to be, for a few days, or I couldn't make it. We said, let's just take the summer off and kind of reevaluate whether or not this is something we wanted to continue. And I think the good news is, or unfortunate news, depends on how you look at it. We decided, yes, we do want to continue with this show, the Sidekick Show. We really enjoy the interaction with the people. We actually missed. First of all, I missed you, my friend. I missed talking with you on a weekly basis. I don't necessarily have to miss seeing your face, but I missed hearing your voice.
Come on, do it.
Oh,
do it.
It's got, for me, it's this way.
Is it? Did I screw it up? All right. Anyways, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we wanted to kind of continue, and so John, do you want to describe what I guess you could say Sidekick Show 2.0 is going to look like? Do you remember? How's that?
Yeah, well, first order of business, we're on Sundays now instead of Mondays. So that's like Lewis posted earlier here, 2020 to 2023. That's 3 years of doing this every Monday. Being able to talk to my good buddy Rob here, who I also missed you too, Rob. And I miss all you guys in the chat. It's always fun. We can kind of catch up on socials, other methods, but it's always fun when you guys have time to join this chat and chill with us. But yeah, that's the main thing. Like Rob said, we're doing this like pretty much every Monday, and like that's a pretty strong habit that we had going. And I don't know if we'd call ourselves professional podcasters. It's more of just we're hanging out, and I think we've accumulated I'd say some pretty fun, decent skills. But now, we're moving to Sundays, and then we're going to try to mix it up a little bit. The task of watching something new every week, which I don't think is what we started off with, right, Rob? We were kind of just shooting the shit and talking about whatever to hype up the Heroes World podcast.
That's right.
And then we delved into things like the brackets, which I do miss doing, and things like that. And then we started at some point we started watching something new every week, which became a lot. It was a lot of fun to be able to watch these things with you guys. But life started speeding up. So I would rather switch it up than miss out on the opportunity to kind of do this every week, right, Rob?
Yeah, it got to be more work than it was fun, right? Because
it's still fun. It was hell fun.
Right, but it was like we each had our own busy weeks, and then you're like, oh shit, we got to watch this thing for Monday, right? And so it sometimes it got to be like we're trying to rush through to get these things done, and then at the same time, the Heroes World podcast, we were still watching stuff. So like people are like, oh, boo-hoo, but like it was time taken out of things. We were so busy, we had to watch stuff. It got to be a bit too much. So John and I kind of put our heads together. Collectively, we still have only half a brain, but we came up with it.
Who contributes how much to each of that half?
No, we're two quarters. We're equal one half, buddy.
We're each 1 quarter. I'll take it.
So this is, I think, what we don't want to veer away from not watching something, because we do recognize how much fun it is to go back and watch something retro or maybe a bit more recent or new. We're also obviously, and for a lack of time, we haven't done the Heroes World main podcast in as almost 3 months or so because it's been so busy. And so we don't want to not watch stuff because we know that are the people who are watching this, whether you're with us live or after the fact, you guys kind of enjoy that. So we're going to do it up a bit different. So we're on a 4-week schedule and a rotation. The first week we're always going to have news and what's new in the shop and stuff like that, and chatting with all of you. But that first week will be probably what's new. Let's talk about the news. Let's just catch up on what's going on, right? The aim is anywhere between 60 to 90 minutes, or 60 to about 75 minutes for per week for show. And then week 2, we'll watch something. Week 3, we'll go shit. I don't even remember what week 3 was going to be.
I think you put it towards the end of the week is where we watch something. So we kind of like talk things up and we try to come up with something we all get to watch together. Which is really awesome. It can fall in any part of the week. I don't know what we're doing yet. We're still talking this out. We do want you
here we go
as well.
So the first Sunday of the month, news, store, and audience interaction. Second week, this is gonna be kind of cool. So what we're gonna do is we want to have a guest. We want to bring a guest on board. We want to have somebody who maybe if you're a fan of the show, if you have a podcast or show that you want to come on and talk about, if you're a fan of pop culture and nerd stuff and comics and movies, we want to have. We also want to have. We're going to have some creators on, people who work in the industry if we can at times. We're also going to have local artists. So we want to be able to showcase a whole bunch of different people and have their, kind of pick their brain a little bit. And then if they want to kind of hang out and talk about, what's going on in the news that week or whatever, then that's, they're more than welcome to. So we kind of wanted to do up a little bit, have a guest on once a month. That'll be the second Sunday of each month. Third Sunday, kind of redoing what we did on the first, which is, again, news, views, talking about stuff, talking with you, the audience. And then, again, as John said, building up. The last Sunday of the month would be movie reviews. We'd be building it up for that month, and then we'll all kind of, have enough time to watch a movie for a couple of weeks, and then at the end of the month we'll watch it. Now I know Lewis is going to say, but what about those weeks when there's 5 Sundays? We're just going to go on a 4-week rotation. All right, Lewis, don't be getting at me. Well, we'll figure that out. But that's kind of what the idea we thought we would do. So we have a lot more time with you, a lot more time talking about stuff that we enjoy, the pop culture, the riffing, the joking, all that stuff. We're going to have somebody on once a month. I'm going to talk about what got them into the game, what they enjoy, and then we'll get back to watching one thing a month. So hopefully you guys are cool with that. We're going to we'll let you know what that schedule is and how it's going to work out. But that's kind of what we thought we would do for Sidekick Show 2.0.
Yeah. Also, we couldn't get together that October Halloween movie list. We had a whole year to work on it, right, Rob?
Oh, we really wanted to.
And we joked. We made these jokes and fun on it. And what did we come up with so far? 0.
No. So funny enough, I actually took a look, man. The Lost Boys is currently streaming on Crave on the Stars edition. If you have the extension.
Nobody has it.
The Pope's Exorcist is the new one with Russell Crowe. That's on Crave right now on the regular Crave. So there are some horror movies. I think we'll probably talk about some horror stuff in the next couple of weeks. But I have told my son.
Speaking of horror, maybe we should do the Bachelor recap week.
Yes, especially with the older bachelor who's in his 70s. When he starts getting into date night, that's the true horror show.
All right. So if say, for example, if Scott comes on, maybe we will have a recap of Bachelor that particular week.
Or we'll just try to understand why.
Yeah. Sorry. Lewis has mentioned the Stars Crave extension. I like to call it Crave the Rich People Edition. And you have all the extensions in there.
Hey, okay, so that actually brings me to a question that I was thinking about, and maybe we can just throw into it now.
Yeah.
So we've got, and we maybe have talked about this in the past, John, but we've got Paramount Plus, Apple TV Plus, Netflix, Crave, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime. So like that for me, I've got 6, right? And on average, people have between 4 or 6 streaming services.
Yeah.
So I don't remember exactly what you have, but you got to get rid of, how many do you have? About 4 or 5 yourself, right?
Netflix, Amazon, Disney. I think that's all I got right now.
Okay, so you have, all right. So those in the chat, if you have to take out 1 or 2, Let us know which ones are you
Yeah.
dropping.
Okay. So how about this? This is easier, Rob. If you had to cut something this month, your monthly bill is coming up for your streaming services. If you had to shave one off your list, what would it be? Right, Rob? You're getting that bill. Do you have an answer yet, or you need a second?
No, you go ahead. What do you got?
I think if we're going off just purely me,
Yeah.
because if I add my kids into the mix, it becomes a whole different ballgame. But if
Right.
it's just me, I think I cut Netflix right now. And remember, I have Prime, Netflix. Oh, you know what? I think I cut Prime.
But
Amazon
isn't
Prime.
it part of your? Don't you pay
Yeah,
a yearly?
see, that's a side thing. Yeah, you pay for Amazon Prime to get that shipping and stuff like that. So maybe that gets taken off the list. If that's taken off the list, then it is Netflix for sure. I feel like I'm going to Disney. I'm going to that little Stars extension. It's got the new Justified on there and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So I cut Netflix right now. Because I haven't been enjoying any of their original content that I can think of. Immediately, I tried to watch that Jackie Chan John Cena movie. I don't know if that was Netflix exclusive
Netflix
or whatever. That was pretty rough. And yeah. So what do you cut up?
Yeah, so it's funny. I mean, I wouldn't be able to cancel Prime because I'm locked into that yearly membership because I do a fair amount of shopping. So
Yeah.
for me, I'm stuck with it. It is what it is. Although I probably watched that almost the least.
I feel like it's the least for me. I'm only keeping it because of that bonus. It's a bonus because like if you had to pay an extension for it, it'd be cut for sure. Like
I mean, like
there,
they
folks?
have Reacher on there, and they do have some movies that we don't don't drop on Netflix or Crave. So like there are some other movies that do drop on there, but I'd probably cut that one now. So I gotta take that out of the way. To be honest with you, I would almost agree with you and say Netflix. I find that I've been watching more Paramount Plus stuff as of late. The Tyler Sheridan catalog of things that he's been doing, especially Lioness, was just fantastic. So I've been watching a little bit more of that. I do enjoy Crave because of all their HBO stuff. And so I wouldn't be able to, and they do have some decent movies that come out on there as well. So I kind of think Netflix,
I miss Crave.
Yeah, you what?
I miss Crave. Yeah, I miss Crave. I used to have Crave and I do miss it. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think I agree with you. Disney Plus seems to have really expanded their stuff. They have some really great shows on there I've been watching this past summer and the past number of weeks. So I kind of feel like Netflix is the one that I'm no longer. I feel like I add stuff to my list on Netflix. And I don't really knock things off my list because I find there's other things that are more intriguing to me.
Yeah. Sometimes it's last on priority. It used to be a time where you'd fire up the Netflix every day and look at the what's new and what's trending. Okay, how about the flip side, Rob? What would you like? It sounds like you got all the services, but is there any that you would add? Like for me, I think Paramount Plus or the must keep of your list. Paramount Plus seems to be the one that's accumulating the most content that I do want to check out, and a lot of the movies and stuff is landing there. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if one of the next sales, but last year Paramount Plus did a discount for you sign up for the year. You got it for half price. So I'm keeping an eye out for that. If that pops up again, I think I'm gonna definitely bite that.
Yeah, actually I forgot I have Apple TV Plus. And now it's free right now.
The man who has everything.
I know.
You get a certain amount of months when you buy a new Apple device or something like that.
So right? I have it through now until April of 2024. So now I like some of those shows that are on there. For All Mankind, I've talked to you about a lot. I like the morning show. Those are all coming back in the next number of months. Morning show just kind of started now.
Yeah.
But I think by next April, I don't know if there's enough on there that would keep me wanting to continue that subscription.
To re-up. Yeah, there's no more Ted Lasso coming up, folks. Which is,
so I guess which one would I think Crave is probably gonna be the one that I could do.
Your must have since you've got a good collection of them. Yeah. Shout out to the folks in the chat. They do mention One Piece live action on Netflix, which I did watch an episode or two of. It seemed pretty legit. Wasn't really my jam, but I respected it because they had the creator involved, which is really cool to have the original creator of whatever content you're adapting, unlike Cowboy Bebop, where I don't know what happened. I don't know if they're clear on why they didn't involve the creator. I think he said he just didn't have any want to participate in it, which I feel like maybe is a red flag when you are developing the show. Hey, this creator isn't even excited about this. All right, maybe we shouldn't do this. I don't know.
Yeah, but look at Alan Moore. Alan Moore didn't want anything to do with the Watchmen stuff, and
true
that
point.
TV series of the Watchmen TV series that came out in 2019 or 2020 was absolutely phenomenal, right?
Yeah. All right. So that's our streaming battle showdown, Rob. Good topic. Can I ask about the creator, Rob? A lot of people are talking about it in the chat.
Yeah.
I know nothing about it. I remember you mentioned the trailer.
Yeah.
And we have mentioned it on here. I haven't watched anything, so I'm wondering if I should go see it blind. Did you see it? I saw Lewis and Fraser in the comments saw it, said it was good, and have recommended it a couple times in this chat alone. So what do you think of it?
So I totally want to see it. I actually wanted to see it this weekend, and I asked my son. He's like, he's at that age now, John. My movie
he sounds like Sly Stallone.
Yeah, he does. No, he sounds like Vin Diesel. Hello, family. So I told him, I said, listen, man, if you're not down, I'm gonna go on my own and go see it. So this upcoming weekend is Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, so I'll probably go check it out this weekend. Because I do really want to see it. I've heard amazing things about it, and I'm a little bit disheartened by the fact that Paw Patrol, the movie, beat it out at the box office this weekend.
You can't. Paw Patrol is a juggernaut. Did you see they released a bunch of posters that were homages to superheroes and stuff?
No, couldn't care less.
I walked past the poster when I went to see Expendables 4, which I don't know if we're going to talk about later, but
you are more than welcome to talk about that pantload. But I do really want to see the creator, and I do want to see it in theater, so I'm down for that.
Yeah. So Lewis with his third or fourth time recommending the creator, he says is visually impressive. Go watch it on IMAX. And Lewis is a legit sci-fi fan, so I think his opinion holds some good weight. And I think it looks like him and Fraser went to see it, had a fantastic time. Scott, I think, was curious about it, and Steve also was curious about it. And I had a bunch of people mention it to me, and I've seen some people post on social media that it was fantastic. Eric Coe, editor-in-chief of Udon Comics, big sci-fi guy. We've had him on occasionally for trailer reactions. He said he loved it. And he said it was legit sci-fi. So I think I'm in the mood to watch some sci-fi, Rob. Now that Dune's pushed back, right?
Yeah. We got that in for Scott.
Yeah.
Dune 2 is now March.
Dune week.
So here's the thing. So Creator looks like a fantastic sci-fi movie. I'm going to tell you something. One movie, John, that is not a great sci-fi movie. You ready?
Yeah.
65.
65. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it came out in the spring, and then it dropped on Crave because you no longer have it. Just a few weeks ago with Adam Driver.
Oh yes, it's like fighting space aliens or something like that, right?
Not at all. Nope.
Dinosaurs?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it was terrible. I remember seeing the trailer and thinking, "Oh, this could be good."
Well, so my son and I, he was kind of like, I said, "Do you want to watch a movie?" And he kind of fine, or whatever. Let's watch something. And I was like, we're going through stuff. And I said, "What about this 65? It's on my list. Let's just check it out." And I went to. He goes, "Well, how long is it?" And it was an hour and 32 minutes. And I was like, "This is gonna just stink." It's going to be an absolute pant load. And sure enough, it was.
Okay, so you watched this at home on streaming, correct?
Yeah.
So what's the point at home on streaming? Clearly you didn't do it, but when would you hit eject? Like in a theater, you might give it maybe, I feel like 20 minutes is maybe the breaking point. If you really don't dig something you're watching in the theater, I have seen people walk
I've
out
never
at that 20-minute mark.
Theater, man.
Yeah, I've never done it. I wanted to do it at Conan, and I think I've mentioned it several times in this podcast.
With Jason
Momoa, Ron Perlman.
Yeah. You told me you loved that movie.
No, I told you that movie was terrible.
You said it was better than the two Arnold ones.
No, never. Not even close. Come on. Get out of here. Eject. Yeah. Like, do you guys in the chat, do you guys have a number where you hit eject? I feel like on streaming, if it doesn't catch me in 15 minutes, I'm fully wanting to just pop on a summary. And if I want to know how it ends, I'll read that summary. But I feel like it's not worth it. I tried 15 minutes of that Jackie Chan, John Cena movie. Yeah. And then I stepped away, and then I went back and watched it, and I regret finishing that movie.
I think I'm probably a good half hour. I'll give it a good half hour. And if I'm not feeling it at half an hour on streaming, then I'll probably bounce out. There was that, and I know that Stu, if Stu is watching this afterwards, he'll chastise me, but there was that Colin Farrell? Colin Farrell, thanks. Movie,
Phone booth?
the Irish movie, the something of inertia or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, it's a very him and Brendan Gleeson. It's a very very Irish movie, and I was watching it, and I got about an hour and a bit into it, and I was just like, I don't think I can do this anymore. Like I was not enjoying it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I know that Stu loved it, and he was like, "Oh, you'll love it. You know, I highly recommend it." The Banshees of Inisherin or something to that effect. Anyways, I just couldn't do it, man.
Terrible movies by Colin Farrell.
Yeah, no, but it won awards. I mean, he was nominated for an Oscar. Like it did critically, it did quite well. I just couldn't get into it, man. I remember like my wife walked by a few times. She's, "What are you watching? It sounds so boring." And I was like, "No, it's great. It's an art house movie."
No, I think I learned my lesson. I used to watch a lot of rom-coms with my wife, and she would fall asleep, and I'd be stuck watching the rest of them because I want to know how it ends. But now we have the internet. I'll just look up how it ends and save yourself a lot of brain cells and time. Fraser says once you pay for the ticket, he'll watch it good or bad. I think there's a certain point where you can walk out to the box office and go, "I want my money back."
Yeah, the first 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah, awful piece of trash.
Yeah.
And Lewis said he did watch that Jackie Chan John Cena movie, which none of us know the name of. And he said it was okay. And I'm going to correct you, Lewis. That movie is terrible. You don't write a Jackie Chan movie and make him super serious, because that is not Jackie Chan. At the point of the movie where he does break and become joking Jackie Chan, it starts to gel a little bit. And then Rob, the finale, one of the big fights of the finale is essentially Jackie Chan and another guy fighting in a bubble bath, which is the most ridiculous gimmick I've ever seen. Just make Jackie Chan fight a guy. And if he can't do it anymore, shout outs to him, because he destroyed his body to entertain us over the years. Figure out some other way to do it. So no, don't watch that Jackie Chan movie.
Yeah, no, I to be honest with you, I know you sent us like this, like the poster or a trailer, like back in like June or something, or July. He's like, "Oh, this movie's coming out," and we're like, "It looks like trash."
Yeah, it looks very glad.
I actually forgot about it until you mentioned it tonight. So
yeah. I feel like you can really, if they can't sell a trailer, then they certainly can't. The movie cannot live up to it. Like, you can cut trailers together however false advertising you want to do, and if you can't do that, then whoa, you've got a stinker on your hands.
Let me ask you a question then, John. So we talk about, and those in the chat, like, let us know. Like, we talk about movies of late that are shit, and we're not watching them anymore. We're pulling the ripcord and we're out. But have there been any movies within the last year or so that you've like watched a couple of times, like, and you'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to keep going back and hitting this because it's hella fun"?
I think the only thing that comes to mind right this minute is Shang-Chi. I think first time watching in the theaters, it was a mixed bag. The theater, like, I did enjoy it, but I didn't really kind of appreciate it as much as I did. Maybe the screen wasn't good. I watched it again on digital. Everything looks way better. And I've told this to a bunch of people. They're like, "I couldn't see anything when they're fighting in the building. Couldn't see anything at the end when you're fighting." And I'm like, watch it on digital now. You can actually see a lot of what's going on. And just the way the movie got structured, I did end up watching it more times than I thought I would after watching it initially. But okay. I think everything else, Rob, like, I know I said I enjoyed Fast and the Furious and a whole bunch of these other were they flops? I think most of them were flops or mediocre releases. I've never rewatched any of them. I haven't touched them. I don't know. Like, is there anything you've watched more than once? Does Ted Lasso count, Rob? I've watched Ted Lasso 3 times in a row, seasons 1 to 3 front to back now.
Wow.
Which is pretty impressive. Season 3 not as strong as I felt it was the first time I watched it, when you watch 1 and 2 before it.
So like, I've been surprised, and we've had this conversation like numerous times. I think whether it's been on this show or the main show or even offline, about how we grew up, we would kind of rewatch a lot of movies. This is why we always had, like, I could recite to you Billy Madison lines all the time, or, right? Happy Gilmore line. We would watch all these movies so often because we didn't have as much that we do now. And I feel like now it's an overabundance of things. It's hard to retain everything. But I have gone, like, okay, so John Wick 4. Yeah. Like, I went to the theater to see that 2 or 3 times. I've seen that like 2 or 3 times. Like, I since then, I absolutely love watching, like, John Wick 4. I love. Yeah. I've also watched The Batman. Like, speaking of Colin Farrell, like, a number of times. Like, I really enjoyed that movie. Obviously, you know me with Interstellar, but like, but this year it's been John Wick 4. I was surprised at some of these movies that have come out on, like, say, Disney Plus, like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah.
I haven't rewatched. I saw it at the theater.
I loved it in theaters. Yeah, I tried to fire it up. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, I just haven't had the desire to jump back into that world. I didn't watch Thor: Love and Thunder ever since it came out in theater. I watched it at the theater and was pissed, and I have had zero.
You guys eviscerated it.
Yeah. I've just been like kind of surprised at some of those movies that have come out, and I've just been like, nah, not really my thing. Like, it hasn't, like, when the Marvel movies were coming out, I was watching that shit all the time, over and over and over again, because it was so good. And now we're at the point, Shang-Chi, probably the outlier of the recent Marvel stuff, although I do like the Eternals quite a bit. I haven't gone back to watch any of them as often as I used to.
Yeah. I told myself I would probably never watch Eternals again, but I don't know. When I think about it, maybe I think I would put that on streaming now to give it a like either background watch or give it another shot. Yeah. If you guys have anything you rewatched,
and I know you've rewatched
agrees with
Flash.
No, I haven't touched it. How about you, Rob? The person who gave it 9 out of 10 or
I never give it 9 out of 10
was paid off by WB to hype up the movie before it came out. Clearly.
No, I haven't rewatched it at all. I own it digitally, but I haven't rewatched it. I'll tell you something, and this is like a sleeper. I mentioned this a number of months ago, and I'm mentioning it again. I've told Stu to watch it. It's on Netflix, John. If you're a fan of Western movies, watch Old Henry. Old Henry. I'm telling you right now, it is absolutely phenomenal. If you're a Western fan, you got to watch Old Henry. I loved it so much. I actually bought the 4K version off of iTunes because I was like, and I watched that 3 or 4 times. So, and that came out last year. Old Henry.
Oh, interesting. Okay, Old Henry. The name sounds recognizable actually now that you mention it. But yeah. So, how about Equalizer 3? Just a side.
I wanted to. Yeah. So no, you know what? So the Equalizer 3, I wanted to go see in theaters. I wanted to see A Haunting in Venice. And to create and all of these things I didn't get a chance to run out to go see. Now, my understanding is Equalizer 3 or E3 for those in the know. It drops supposedly to Tuesday on digital.
Oh,
that's
this week.
The rumor. Sometime this week. Yeah. That's the rumor.
Okay.
So we'll see.
I'll check it out. I've heard some people said it feels more like a Man on Fire sequel than a Equalizer sequel. So I don't know if Steve can mention. Oh no, Steve said he says fine time to watch it. Scott mentions Meg 1 and Meg 2. I hear you. Those were surprise hits, were they not?
Well, Meg 2 didn't do very well. My son and a friend, they went and saw the Meg 2. I said, "Did you guys watch the first one?" And his friend, she was like, "There was a first one?" And I was like, It's Meg 2. Maybe
she thought it was Meg 2 TOO.
No, it's a big numerical 2. And I was like, I'm driving her. I'm like, what? And my son's laughing. I'm like, yeah, there's a first one. You never saw it? She goes, no, I had no idea there was. Which, all right. I mean, listen, I grew up with Leonard Part 8 in the 80s. So I can understand a little bit of confusion, but that doesn't happen anymore. So
maybe it's okay. Like, did you ever, like, if you just saw Terminator 2 and didn't see Terminator 1, I think you're okay. You're recapped enough.
But there's such a maybe. I don't know. All I know is that I thought that was kind of weird. Anyways, I haven't seen Meg 2.
Crank 2? Do you need to watch Crank 1 in order to watch Crank 2? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's on Crave right now. The Meg 2 is on Crave, so I probably will watch it. I might add that to my schlocky October horror fest. Yeah. I am bound and determined, John, to show my son The Crow this month.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Extremely violent. Some of the scenes in there are very hard to
tell. What he said to me, this is what he said. Okay, you have to understand that he's 14 years old. I said, there's 2 movies I want to show you this month. One is The Lost Boys. 2 is The Crow. And he's like, bro. I'm between dog and bro. Bro, I don't like watching old movies. And I was like, it's not an old movie, man. What are you talking about? He goes, anything like before 2010 is old. And I'm like, Come on, man. Don't do me that. I'm telling you right now. And he goes, no, it looks old. I said, The Crow holds up. I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy it. So we're going to see.
I think it has been discussed on the show several times in comments in person that The Crow is one of those movies that does seem to work, no matter when you watch it. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
You know why, John?
What?
There's no cell phones or anything of that. There's a pager. The guy's got a pager, but that's about it. There's nothing to really tie it to the time.
Yeah, I think they did film a lot of it practically too, and they used what budget they had. Although the conditions of the set, and we all know the result. The Brendan Lee passing away was not good, but it seems to have. I don't know if you would say paid off in the art. I feel like nothing ever pays off when someone loses their life. But the art of the movie seems to stand up. But yeah, it's
now
they
made a remake.
They have, yeah.
It's filmed. They finished filming it.
Does it star Jason Momoa?
In May? No. It stars Bill Skarsgård, who was Pennywise the Clown. He was also in John Wick 4. He was the bad guy, the rich guy, yeah, in John Wick 4. Fire it up. That's right.
you gotta drink the bullet, which always seems really awkward to me, but whatever. Have fun passing that out later.
But yeah, so they got this new one, and they just announced, I think, a couple weeks ago that they finally got distribution for it. So it will be coming out. I think it's I feel like it's in the first half of 2024. So
I'm gonna say good luck. Good luck to the Crow remake. I hope everyone that worked on the project got paid, and hopefully it'll do well.
I want to see a trailer, man. I want to see a trailer.
Good luck. It's gonna be rough. All right. So that's Rob's got his viewing lined up. I think we all want to go see The Creator. Is there anything else on the docket that we immediately want to talk about? Do you want to hear a little bit about Expendables 4, Rob?
I'm not seeing it, so sure. Lay it on me.
Okay, Rob, what you guys in the chat, let me know, what is your thoughts on the previous 3 Expendables? Like, do you own them on Blu-ray? Have you rewatched them? I attempted to fire them up again recently, just out of nostalgia's sake, and I couldn't even do it.
Seriously?
Number 2 and 3 blend together for me. I know one's got Mel Gibson, one's got Van Damme, but the movies have never quite worked for me. So I don't know what possessed me to go see the 4th one in theaters, and it being the first one I actually saw in theaters. I don't think I saw either of the other ones in theaters. No, maybe actually one. Did you go see one in theaters, Rob?
I did go see one. I went and saw 1 and 2 in theaters, and I don't think I've ever seen number 3.
Yeah, number 3 is with Mel Gibson, I believe. And I don't remember a lick of any of them. And I think Wesley Snipes is in one of them too. I don't remember that either.
Maybe the 3rd one. I don't know. Or maybe he's in number 2. I don't know. I remember number 1, I think, and I remember walking out going, you know what? It's not that bad. It's not great, but it was kind of cool to watch all these guys, and it was a fun little action movie, 90 minutes, right? And then number 2, I was like, wow, these guys are really like trying to grab everything they can on this property. And then when number 3 came out, I remember looking at the trailer going, I'm out. I have zero interest in watching it.
It seems like it should work. I don't know why it doesn't work. It's like you're bringing back 80s action heroes. You're doing an 80s style movie, but for some reason, it does not come together. Whoever's putting together the script, all this kind of stuff. So Expendables 4 is this whole new groundwork. It looked like almost a new beginning because the whole alleged Sylvester Stallone passing the torch onto Jason Statham, and then he was going to go on with the series from there. And this is Jason Statham's wheelhouse to do these kind of like lower budget action movies. We've seen the articles where it's like he was offered to be in a Marvel movie or something like that, and he turned it down or something. Allegedly, who knows what those rumors are true. And then it's got Megan Fox in it. It's got 50 Cent in it. It's got Tony Jaa. It's got Aiko from Wu Assassins and The Raid and all that kind of stuff. So it's got like these heavy hitters and some new and young talent infused in there, but it just does not work at all, Rob. They started off strong. They had some like money action sequences, and then it feels like they ran out of money, or it could be they had to film during COVID because the entire last half of the movie is filmed on like a sound stage. Kind of
really?
like
Green screen shit?
screen. You can kind of see, you know, when they show a person and they're standing, then you can see the whole background, like it's clearly like a screen or something. It did not work. They didn't even use any of the new characters. It was Jason Statham running around killing everybody in sight. And I don't know if I want to spoil the part about Sylvester Stallone, but I feel like I should, to do you guys all a service so you guys don't watch this damn movie. But in the first part of the movie, Stallone dies. And you're like, oh, wow, Expendables is moving forward. But it's a fake out. He's back at the end of the movie. And you're like, oh,
Hard
God,
because he needs his money.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with this movie. If you guys watched it and enjoyed it, kudos to you. If you didn't watch it and I just spoiled it for you, you should thank me because you're going to save yourself. I don't even know how long that stuff was.
I won't even watch it when it comes on streaming. I have zero interest.
Yeah. When I walked out, I walked past the movie posters for Paw Patrol, which shout outs to Fraser. Fraser said he watched it. And I also saw a poster for the Taylor Swift concert.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, either of these movies would be a suitable replacement for what we just watched. And
you paid money for that, dude.
I wanted to give it a chance. I was like, hey, this is hype. Let's give it a chance. I feel like I didn't watch any of them theaters. And I was like, let's give it a fair share. If I watch this on streaming, I'm going to eject after 15 minutes if it's no good. And man, I do wish I watched it on streaming. So wow. yeah, Lewis is like, why bother to watch it? Yeah. That's why I was not surprised. You saw all those articles. They're like, this is the lowest grossing Expendables in the history of Expendables. Ooh, whole 4 movies. This is the history of Expendables. But I was like, I'm not surprised. Wow. They should be praising it for the amount it did make. But anyways, what about you, Rob? Did you watch anything recently? I know you talked about it. You missed a whole bunch of stuff, but what was the last thing you saw in theaters?
Oh, well, I can go back I keep all my receipts. All my movie stubs.
Is it Flash? Blue Beetle? Did you go see Blue Beetle?
I did. That might be the last. It was August 23rd. I went and saw Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun for what it is.
Yeah. So you've seen it.
Yeah.
Well, we can do a quasi small little review of it if you want. And let us know in the chat if you guys have seen it. I believe it's now on you can get it on video on demand if you wanted to pay for it or rent it. I'm sure it'll be hitting Crave before the end of the year. You know what, man? For what it was okay. It had its moments. It was very tropey though. It's like we've kind of been here, done that.
Yeah.
I think though I was watching it and I realized I am not the target audience for this property. Right. I think the target audience is like my son's age and, into like maybe your mid 20s. I think, young teen to mid 20s is probably the target audience they were going for. It had some fun moments for sure. There was a couple of times I laughed out loud. There's a couple of times I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. What is it? What am I watching? But it definitely wasn't the worst DC movie I saw this year. So, I
give props to Zolo for his big screen debut, quote unquote, because I think this was supposed to be an HBO streaming project or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think he did an excellent job. I think George Lopez did a great job of not just playing George Lopez. I feel like he actually played a character that was different from him that he normally plays. But yeah, I hear you. You could have mapped the plot out easily. You know how when people like to that person you go see the movie with likes to predict the next part. Yeah, you could 100% get 10 out of 10 on this just going, and then this is going to happen. And then this is going to happen. Oh, and then this is going to happen at the end. So it's very predictable. But if you look at the budget versus what the final product, I think you have to look at that and go, hey, they were able to accomplish this and not break the bank and make, I would say it's a fun movie. But it looks like a lot of people haven't seen. Oh, no, Fraser says he said it was good. Lewis said he didn't see it. Fraser does compare it to Shazam 2. He says Blue Beetle was better. You saw both of those, Rob. Which is better? Shazam, Blue Beetle?
I'd probably say Shazam 2. Although I don't know about that because Shazam, when I think about, I haven't watched it since. I have it on. I got like the $9.99.
You're a sucker. You're a sucker.
But you know what? Listen, I will say this. Obviously, James Gunn has some trust in Zolo because he announced last week that he was talking about somebody on Threads at the end of last week or mid of last week was asking James Gunn about what is canon going forward, because everything's all over the place. We still have Aquaman 2 supposedly coming out at the end of this year. What's canon? And, I'm going to paraphrase, but essentially he said, listen, canon for the DCU starts with Creature Commandos, which is an animated property coming out next year. And then canon is going to be Superman, whatever whatever the new Superman
Legacy or something like that.
Right. So like Creature Commandos will kind of start it off, but Superman Legacy will lay the foundation for what will be considered canon in the DCU. However, your boy Zolo and Blue Beetle are part of that new DCU. They're the only carryovers cinematically into the new DCU. Some actors that we have seen will be playing different characters in the new DCU, but they will not be playing the characters that we may have seen them in already, which lends credence to the fact that I think Momoa will likely be Lobo going forward.
Oh, this is a raw prediction.
Well, it's everybody's predicting that. So
yeah. Yeah. No, I think I don't know. Yeah, I think they Hollywood's always reusing these actors. We've already seen it happen several times in Marvel movies. So why can't DC do it? So if you watch Jason Momoa's portrayal of Aquaman, he's 100% just playing Lobo as Aquaman.
I don't have control of the comments, but Lewis
never.
said John Cena and Viola Davis as well. He's right. Yes, those two as well, because they're doing a Peacemaker season 2. Also, they're doing the Viola Davis plays
Amanda Waller.
Thank you. And they got her TV shows. So those are definitely two others that are coming through into this new universe as well. So,
all right. Quick reaction to Scott. He said there's 2 buses getting cut in half in both Blue Beetle and Shang-Chi. The Blue Beetle sequence was hella cool, but Shang-Chi, that is one of the best scenes of that entire movie. And I would watch that scene over and over again. For sure. Maybe not the entire movie again right now. But that bus scene, I could watch that on repeat all day long.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So let's go. Since the title of this was the best thing that happened this summer, or best thing of this summer, what is your best movie of this summer, Rob? Is it going to be John Wick 4? Is that considered this summer, or
that was May, right?
Right before summer, I guess. But you've rewatched it several times in the summer.
Yeah, I did go to the theater numerous times.
You did go. Some of the guys mentioned Barbie earlier.
I did enjoy Barbie.
Yeah,
I got to tell you, I was actually a bit disappointed. We talked about this back in August when we did this. I was disappointed a little bit in Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Can I hear you now? Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to rewatch it when it drops on digital. It probably already has dropped on digital.
No, it hasn't. It comes out on video on demand end of this month. Yeah. I will pick it up for sure, and I will watch it again, but I was disappointed in it. But I really liked Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I really liked that movie. So I would say, though, you're probably right for the summer because John Wick 4 was May. I'd probably go John Wick 4 was probably my movie that I absolutely loved that movie. So more than I expected to, because I really wasn't a big fan of John Wick 3.
Yeah. So surprising. Yeah, I remember us going back and you're going, we're rewatching those ones and stuff like that. 3 is the one with Halle Berry, right?
Yeah.
We always get this confused. 2 and 3 kind of bleed together. Lewis says Top Gun ? No, Lewis, that's a little too old. But if you're enjoying that this summer, yeah, sure. Top Gun is a summer blockbuster. Why can't Top Gun Maverick be a summer blockbuster? Booster?
Well, listen, they thought Dead Reckoning was going to, like, quote unquote save the box office this year, and it turned out to be Barbenheimer.
Yeah. It got demolished, and you know what? Upon reflection, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to watch it anytime soon. Steve mentions Extraction 2. I finally did watch Extraction 1, Rob, and I quite enjoyed it.
Oh, so, yeah, I was like, which one's
so maybe I'll get to Extraction 2 this year.
Actually, you know what, man? That is a good movie on Netflix. I quite enjoyed it.
Like, if Extraction 1, when I watched it, I was like, if Netflix can figure out what exactly made this work, because they had Helmsworth is an A-lister right now. Yeah. So they probably paid him a ton. They had a bunch of other people appear in there. They all got probably decent checks. They had, I think, a famous guy from overseas played the. I forgot what his name was, but one of the other agents, and he was really cool. So if they can crack that formula and release more content like that,
actually, you know what? Steve's right. I really actually enjoyed I was thinking more in theatrical as opposed to online, but Extraction 2, I really like. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Scott mentions the whole part 2, so we got a lot of movies this year. So Spider-Verse, I know everyone was raving about this, but now because of the strike, you don't know when number 2 is coming out and all that. I feel like it dropped down on everybody's list. And Mission Impossible, same thing. Fast and Furious, part 1 of 2 as well. We don't even talk about that anymore. Lewis, you haven't seen either Extraction films? Weren't you say one making fun of me for not watching Extraction 1? I don't know what's going on. Yeah, here. Steve says he would have saw Extraction in theaters. Yeah, that would have been a good experience. I'd do it.
Yeah, so would I.
Yeah. So I would say, Rob, the only movie that comes to mind this summer was that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem movie.
I haven't seen it yet. It's on Paramount Plus in Canada.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. I didn't really have that many expectations for it, and I thought it was really well done with what they had to work with. So I do look forward to seeing that on digital and being able to show my kids. It is available on digital now, but I'm waiting for it to be free on digital. But I look forward to seeing that and the new generation that kind of grows up being Turtle fans from that movie.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to relate to them because you'll be like, oh, I grew up with Turtles in the 80s. You're a fan of new Turtles, like, oh, Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, everybody. Definitely watch it. If you have watched it, shout outs to the Jackie Chan scene. Is absolutely fantastic. Great tribute to his career. That's what he should have been doing in that John Cena movie, which we don't know the title of. I think Lewis said he watched it. Lewis, what did you think of that Jackie Chan scene? That was awesome. Scott says his kids love TMNT. Yeah, Rob, you got to watch this TMNT. I know you weren't excited about it when I mentioned it before. But I predicted it could possibly take the summer for me. And with the letdowns of those other couple movies, it took it easily.
Wow. It beat your John Wick 4.
I don't know about that. I do rewatch John Wick 4. A hell of a lot of people got shot in the face. And you would think you'd get tired of it, but you didn't.
No, not at all.
Yeah, and shout outs to the nunchuck scene, my favorite scene of that movie for sure.
In fact, I'll tell you something, John. So part of my renovations is I got myself a nice 75-inch Sony Bravia television. Yeah. I also got myself a 4K Blu-ray player. Ooh. John Wick 4. This is the first 4K movie I bought.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Snap. It wasn't Snyder Cut?
No, I won't. I'm not. No. But it's interesting because I thought about this. I thought about, there are certain movies I would want to get in 4K that I have in Blu-ray. I'm like, do I double dip? I'm doing my best to not double dip. I'm doing my best. But like the Batman, I hear that the quality of the picture from 4K to Blu-ray is phenomenal. I'm like, do I double dip for that? I don't know, right? Like,
is it gonna? You think it's gonna be visually stunning, like Dunes and that kind of movies that really shine? Like what? Like I'm a TV novice here. What exactly does this clarity help? I feel like sometimes it takes you out of it because you're like, this is so damn clear that I know I'm watching something produced. But I'm not.
You know what it is? I mean, Lewis would probably be able to explain it, but the most simplistic. Answer I saw online is somebody was saying that say Blu-ray uses 2000 what do they call them? Pixels, 2000 pixels, right? Yeah. To create a picture. And 4K uses something like 20,000 or 8,000 or maybe it's 8,000 or whatever pixels to create. Like, it's just the fidelity and the blacks are black, the fidelity, it just looks phenomenal.
Yeah. So when you say stuff like that, like the blacks, so watching something like the Batman, you're going to be able to see stuff better, right?
And I think like a Blu-ray Batman, right? I can see quite a bit, but now the one movie I am I'm fishing to get on 4K is Top Gun Maverick. That was one I can't wait to get on. Yeah, I'm going to try to go this week to go pick that one up.
Yeah, I think I did. I think my wife got me a copy, and I think the black branding is 4K. 4K, right? Yeah. So she got me that version. So if I ever get an upgraded TV, I'll do that. Or Rob, I can lend it to you.
Well, so Lewis, again, I can't click, but Lewis says 4K disc is way better than streaming. So this is
Oh,
the thing.
100%.
I'm starting. Like, I own a lot of movies on digitally, but I miss I do have a lot of physical, but lately, the last number of years, I haven't gotten anything physically because I was like, well, what the hell is the point? I can just download
Yeah.
them, off of iTunes or whatever. But now I feel like I want to get back into, because I do love watching. So I got to be very picky in particular, even though I'm talking about double dipping, about the movies that I want to get on physical media compared to like streaming them in 4K on Apple, because you're not really streaming it in 4K, right? So
Yeah. Okay, so when you upgrade your regular Blu-rays to 4K, you can send your regular Blu-rays my way.
do you want my VHSs as well?
I was gonna bring that up at the show today. So I went to the Vintage Toy Con, old toys and all that kind of stuff. Did you notice that there is actually a resurgence in people buying VHS cassettes? Like it's kind of like a trendy thing now. So there's actually values of some of these old VHSs going up. Like especially obscure stuff. I think it started in a lot of those horror movies, the cult stuff, like foreign films and stuff like that. But I'm seeing a lot of people collecting VHS. Do you think that's like the best way to like? I figure the ultimate way you see it in the movie theaters. Maybe you buy the canister of this original film, but you're never going to be able to play that. But would buying a VHS tape with a cardboard cover be the equivalent of buying records? Like you guys are collecting records. Obviously, the picture quality, sound quality is not going to be anywhere near records. Some people say it's superior, right, than everything we got right now. But do you see the appeal in maybe owning it on VHS and having that cardboard
sleeve?
What was it? Slipcase or sleeve? Yeah.
You know what, man? Like I've a couple years ago, I had like an old school clamshell, but they had a Blu-ray in it. I have of the Breakfast Club and Jaws, so the old school clams, right? And I was like, oh, like, from the old VHS stuff, and it's cool, like nostalgic to have. I don't think VHS will make a comeback the way record players did, because I don't see, and I could be wrong, I don't see anybody making a VHS players that could play high definition that you'd need, that you can plug it in. You can't hook this stuff up to your TV anymore. Right?
Yeah. So the problem is you can't use that medium. You could collect them, you could put them on your shelf, it'd look cool, but it's not like a record where you can put that on a turntable and it sounds amazing. And it has, the little bumps and the little scrapes, like it has that the static or whatever you get, right?
Static, and it the sound is, I would say I could understand the argument that the sound on a record is better than it is on a CD, because it picks up a lot more.
Yeah, or it might have this different sound, like almost like hearing live music. A vinyl record, but a VHS is just gonna sound like, right, like, or you turning that tracking knob, you would hear a little kind of like fuzziness to the sound if you didn't have like the best sound connection, or you didn't have a good copy of the VHS. But kind of cool to have a little cardboard represent, because no way are DVD clamshells going to be collectible. You know what I mean? It's like a printed paper in this plastic thing. Yeah.
And that tape wears out, man.
Yeah.
Be kind, rewind. Hey, let's switch gears before we sign off for the night. Tell me about things going on in the store, man. How have things been going? We've been running a lot of activities. So what's been going on?
So we're doing like Rob mentioned earlier, we're doing full court press. We've had a lot of help from lovely volunteers, especially during our move. We had a lot of people jump in there and help us move comic boxes, which saved our lives. Backs, knees, everything, like saved us pretty good. But yeah, we're running a lot of new and exciting events. So I'll just shout out a couple quick things, because I did have time to pull a couple quick slides. So we do have the launch of the new 40K Space Marine stuff coming out this week. So if you're looking for Warhammer 40K stuff, hit me up. The new 10th edition is out. We're playing a lot of it at the store. So if you follow me on Instagram or you follow the store, you'll usually see us post a couple pictures of people playing on tables in the store. It's fantastically addicting. Rolling dice, creating your army, painting your models. We've run lots of demos for people. So if you're looking for something fun to do and occupy a lot of your time, Warhammer is where it's at. And then I will shout out Cardfight Vanguard, which is the Japanese card game based on the animated series. We are running local events for that every Wednesday. Let me see what else I pulled. We do have another Warhammer related event, the Kill Team League, coming up in October. We also have a BattleTech League coming up in October. Fun stuff. And then I will shout out our Magic the Gathering Championship event, which is happening this coming Sunday. So not today, next Sunday. We're going to be having a Magic sealed deck event. And that's among other things. Rob mentioned our workshops. We've had some photography workshops by our very good friend Jeff, which is taking your action figures, adding lighting, adding smoke effects. We've got these aerosol cans, Rob, of atmosphere.
Yeah.
So you spray it around. You might see people use it during their wedding pictures or product pictures. They spray this smoky haze and they add some lights to kind of bounce off it. Our buddy Jeff has been running some photography classes where you can shoot some forced perspective. You can use things like kinetic sand and all this kind of stuff to add some cool effects to your toy photography. We did have Howard Wong. He's going to do a how to write comics course. He's kind of currently retooling it right now. He had a different format. He's going to come back to us with another format of it. And then we have had D&D beginner sessions. So if you want to learn to play D&D, we are adding that to the docket. And then we also did have what was the other thing we had? Andre's Comic Book Club. So cookies, comics, and conversation. This past week was Paper Girls. He did Nightwing, Tom Taylor's Nightwing. Yeah, his Nightwing series. And then upcoming, he's got a couple classics coming. So he's got Spider-Man, Kraven's Last Hunt, which is by some people heralded as one of the best Spider-Man stories of all time.
Yep.
And then after that, I believe is Superman for All Seasons, which I'm pretty sure Rob's read. Inspired the show Smallville, one of Superman's all-time greatest tellings of his origins.
Jeff Loeb, right?
Yeah, Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale art. Very classic talk. It opened the kind of more diving into Clark growing up, which, like I said, led to shows like Smallville and all kinds of fun stuff. So yeah, shout out to that. Thank you, Rob, for mentioning that we're going crazy with these events and stuff like that. And as usual, New Comic Book Day is every Wednesday and a whole bunch of other fun stuff going on. So definitely hit us up or follow us on socials. So yeah, virtual. Yeah, Scott, we got to work on that, or we got to fly you in to do some D&D. Add a little robot screen with some Johnny Five Alive tank treads going around.
Not Fisher Stevens.
Yeah, no, sorry, dude. Yeah. Shout outs to Transformers #1 is coming out, Rob. I think I'm gonna have to show you a copy of this book. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's done by the same guy who did Do a Power Bomb and Murder Falcon. I think his name is Daniel Warren Johnson or whatever. He has a very kinetic art style, but Transformers recently transformed hands. I don't know. It was, if you guys remember back in the day, Dreamwave brought it back from the 80s and kind of launched this whole 80s recreation. They lost the rights, went over to IDW. IDW's had it for a good long time. All Hail Megatron, a lot of fun books. And now it's come to Image/Skybound Entertainment, the same guys who bring you Walking Dead.
It's Robert Kirkman's label.
Yeah, Robert Kirkman, Saga, all the really hot Image books. And a good buddy of ours, Arun, put us on to getting a preview copy and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's a fantastic book. Lots happens, and you should get issue 1. It's coming out this week. Pretty excited.
Cool. And I think I've seen you guys have had some photos. You got some pretty your omnibus stuff is pretty stacked as well, didn't you?
Yeah, we still get all the new omnibuses. And I do special orders for a lot of people. A lot of people come in. Avengers Hickman Volume 1 has been pretty popular. The new Wolverine Volume 4 just came out. And even the Fantastic Four omnibuses will be doing really well. So if you are looking for stuff like that, hit me up. We sell all of those for US cover price in Canadian. I don't think you can get that price anywhere else.
No. And in fact, I think I saw on your socials, you guys had Batman Nightfall.
Yeah, Batman Nightfall Volume 1. It's a classic.
Yeah, the classic, right? Bane breaking the Batman's back and John Powell Valley stepping in, which it always never made sense to me that why would Bruce Wayne be like, okay, I can't walk anymore. I got to hand over my mantle to the Dick Grayson's like, all right, I guess. No, not you, Dick. I'm giving it to this guy I just met like 3 weeks ago. So
this guy I just met, he's going to be the new Batman.
Yeah, sorry, Dick. You're just not ready yet. But yeah, I saw that. I saw that's back out, and that's great. I remember reading that stuff, and I went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs reading the Nightfall stuff. So that's good to see that.
Oh man, yeah, old school omnibuses. So thank you very much, Rob.
Cool.
Anything else we got to talk about before we're out? We're back. We're in theory back next week, folks.
Yeah, we will be here next Sunday. I will be on time. I apologize for literally forgetting. I was going to eat some cheesies, and I was actually, you know what I was going to do? I was going to start Ahsoka. I haven't watched any of it yet.
Oh, neither have I.
And the finale is this coming Tuesday.
Oh.
So I thought that maybe I'll watch it, because I thought maybe we would ask our good friend Andre if he's available for next Sunday to come on as our first guest.
Oh,
talk about So
we'll talk with Andre about Ahsoka, or the second week. Is it the second week we're supposed to have a guest?
Which is next week, because this is the first week of October. Today's October 1st.
Shoot, today's October 1st. Holy crap. All right, so now I got to try and watch Ahsoka.
Yeah.
But yes, everyone pronounces it differently, but I'm pretty sure it's Ahsoka.
It's Ahsoka, yeah.
A lot of people say Ashoka.
Yeah.
And it sounds funny, but I guess maybe if you try to read it phonetically or something like that.
So we'll see if we can get Andre. We'll see.
Yeah, Scott, Andre, Jesse, and I think Megan did a review for episode 1. So maybe we'll have to check in. Maybe we'll have Scott and Andre. I don't know. Or Andre's going to take up all the time because he has lots of thoughts.
So maybe we won't have Andre as our first guest.
I feel like we should at least check in with him. Maybe we'll give him a 15-minute timer and just go.
There we go. That's right. We'll have like one of those like sand timers that you get from your kids' games.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah. All right.
Buddy.
Anyways, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Rob, for getting up from your early bedtime. Going to sleep at 8:00. He's like in bed with his mask on. Cell phone goes off. He's like, "Oh crap! I got to get online here."
Oh no!
Oh snap! Again, as always, thank you everybody for joining us. If anyone's watching this on the replay, happy birthday, Sarah! It was her birthday today. I didn't expect to see her on here, but if you want to wish her a happy birthday. And yeah, I think that's all we got for you tonight, folks. Thank you, everybody. Yes, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Fraser. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Lewis.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Peace out.
Sidekick Show version 2.0. Here you go.